to take a stand. It's up to you, the future's in your hands. When they try to bring us down, we'll stand up, we won't back down. We'll fight for justice, truth and right. Together we will shine our light. Legal battles we will face. In courts of law we'll find our place. With checks and balances we defend our Constitution till the end. When they try to bring us down, we'll stand up, we won't back down. We'll for justice, truth and right. Together we will shine our light. State by state, we'll hold the line. Against the power, we'll intertwine. With public voices, loud and strong, we'll right the wrongs, we'll right the wrongs. The press is free, the people's voice. We'll rise up, make the choice. Civic duty, engage the fight. Democracy's beacon shining bright. When they try to bring us down, we'll stand up, we won't back down. We'll fight for justice, truth and right. Together we will shine our light. With global friends we'll hold the flame. Impeachment calls will name the names. Whistleblowers brave and bold, the stories of the truth unfold. Non-violent, we take the streets. With peace and power, our hearts beat. United strong, we face the night. In the name of freedom we fight. When they try to bring us down, we'll stand up, we won't back down. We'll fight for justice, truth and right. Together we will shine our light. America, land of the free. It's up to us, our destiny. With every step we make it clear. We'll protect what we hold dear. It's up to us, our destiny. Every step we make clear. We'll protect what we hold dear.
Imagine this. Donald Trump, the man once at the helm of our constitutional republic, now sees his approval ratings soaring to new heights. According to a recent Harvard-Harris poll, Trump's approval stands at a robust 54%, a remarkable 20% increase since he left office in 2021. It seems that the American populace, weary of current leadership, is not just reminiscing about the past, but is ready to make America great again. This sentiment isn't confined to political arenas. It's making waves in unexpected places like NFL fields where players celebrate touchdowns with Trump-inspired dances, sanctioned by the league itself. Welcome to #GoRight with Peter Boykin, where we delve into the heartbeat of our constitutional republic, offering insights from a perspective that champions liberty and the conservative values our founders envisioned. We'll be right back. Remember, we fight for what's right because it's time to go right.
time to go right. Time to go right. Time to go right.
Welcome to hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin. Now, I don't normally address a lot of LGBT issues because usually I see a lot of negativity. From the left side, it's usually information I disagree with. From the right side, unfortunately, I see a lot of bashing and miscommunication and generalization of the whole community. But I did want to implore that I have redone the website gaysfortrump.org, working on updating it and putting more news on that website. I am also improving and adding to Go Right News with GoRightNewsNC.com and hoping to add North Carolina news, and hopefully this trend will continue as my time allows. But I do want to address the bathroom ban in the U.S. Capitol. Mike Johnson has recently introduced a ban preventing transgender women from using women's restrooms in the Capitol building. Now, as the founder of Gays for Trump, I believe that transgender individuals should not compete in sports against those of the biological sex they do not share to maintain competitive fairness. Furthermore, I advocate for separate shower facilities to ensure privacy and safety for all, and I'm against surgeries for puberty blockers for minors, but support access to counseling and education on diversity. I strongly believe that personal expression through clothing should not be regulated by the government, provided it adheres to general standards for public decency. Everyone deserves access to bathrooms that safeguard their dignity, and it's worth pondering how transgender women feel about being mandated to use facilities that do not align with their gender identity, and whether this policy truly considers their welfare. Which I understand there's multiple points on this. Instead of the transgender person using the bathroom of their declared sex, they now, I'm assuming, as a trans woman, use the men's room. That might be uncomfortable for people in that room now. But now we're respecting religions. Now, while respecting religious beliefs, I find citing scripture in public policy debates on bathroom access inappropriate. The U.S. was built on religious freedom, which includes the freedom from religion. There are more critical issues at hand than where someone else is, using the bathroom. But I do want to deliver a message to our community, to those within the LGB and the TS community who wish to dissociate from the broader LGBT label due to our political hijacking by the left. We pose a question and we challenge you. Are you ready to abandon your community or our community just because it's misrepresented? Would you give up your home, community, and country for this reason? We believe you wouldn't. This community is ours too, and let's not surrender it without a fight. Now, our challenge to you, isn't it time to reclaim what rightfully belongs to us? Our community shouldn't just be handed over. We refuse to let them define us. So join us in this. I've got a call of action. Show the world who we are. We need your videos. Share us your stories. Explain why you support Donald Trump. Discuss your commitment to liberty and what drives you to hashtag Go Right. Think along the lines of the hashtag Walk Away testimonies. But we aim to amplify these on social media and our platforms to show our strength in numbers. If you're one of the 4,000 plus members on Facebook, in the Geisha Trump group. Let's rally together to hashtag Take Back Pride. Contact me for details on how to submit your video. Let's go right back to some great news. Not so great news, but news in the rest of the world. We'll be right back.
Good morning. It's absolutely a big deal if it's true, just as you said. What this is, this would represent a major escalation by Russia in the war against Ukraine. And this follows on what the Biden administration did just the last couple days. They allowed for attacks, directly long-range attacks, 130, 190 miles, up to 190 miles into the territory of Russia that's never been authorized before. These are U.S. weapons that are now authorized to go directly against Russia. And then also what Lloyd Austin was just saying there about the anti-personnel mines, those have never been given over there, and those are very, very dangerous. Once again, that's a major escalation. So if true, this ICBM that was launched for the first time against Ukraine, this would mean a major escalation, really a response to the provocation that the Biden administration is doing in the last throes. We got 2 months going in this administration. President Trump has said that he's going to ramp this war down. And suddenly, why are we provoking the Russians and then having a tit for tat? Meantime, there's more going on in Iran that we can talk about. But we're on the verge of World War III in 2 locations on the Biden-Harris watch. And it's coming in the last 2 months before President Trump gets in office, and this is outrageous.
Okay, so also Vladimir Putin just lowered the threshold for the country to be allowed to use nuclear weapons. Their current stance is essentially they could use nuclear weapons if they're attacked at any time. So where do you think all of this is going?
Well, once again, we're on the verge of World War III right now because Putin has said that there was a red line. He said that if we allow Ukraine to attack directly long-range missiles into Russian territory, then that was a red line, and that he threatened nuclear action as a result of that. And look, we also have the Iranians who are 1 month away from building several nuclear weapons right there. And so this is, once again, the instability that's brought about through the Biden-Harris weakness. We saw it in Afghanistan. There was a green light for Putin to go 2 years ago into Russia, 2.5 years ago now. And so this is something where Russia is right on the edge right now, and this is something that we need President Trump in office right away so that he can ramp down these conflicts and just bring peace to that region.
So, John, there are also those in the Republican Party who think that President Biden should have already done this, given Ukraine the ability to strike deep inside Russia from day one, give them everything they want. You could make the argument that that would be the peace through strength position. What about that?
Well, it's not the case because, once again, this is something where President Putin is ready to negotiate because he knows for a long time that this is a position that President Trump has had and that he will, as a deal maker, he's the art of the deal and he'll be able to push both sides together. But what this risks right now is something that can spiral out of control very quickly. We saw the use, if this is true, the report of the ICBM being used. That's the first time ever, and that shows that all you need to do is put a nuclear warhead on that, and we've got World War III. So this is something that is very dangerous, and if we're looking to strengthen the hand of Zelensky, the Ukrainians, against Russia, this is a very dangerous game to play, and we need to be very careful and get President Trump in office so that he can push both sides together and get a deal here.
Tense times. John Elliott, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
In a dramatic escalation of the ongoing conflict, Ukraine has ventured into Russian territory with U.S.-made Army tactical missile systems. That's ATACMS. Atomices or whatever. This bold move came shortly after President Biden allowed the use of these long-range weapons, reversing his previous stance. The target was an ammunition depot in Karachev, again, probably pronouncing it wrong, but I don't get paid to pronounce Russian names properly, deeply inside of Russia, marking a significant intensification of hostilities. Russia reported intercepting most of the missiles, but the implications are vast. Now, let me give you an opinion. This decision by Biden could be seen as reckless, potentially dragging us closer to a nuclear confrontation. I don't think so. But critics argue, and I tend to agree, that this might handcuff Donald Trump's incoming administration, limiting his options for peace negotiations. David Sack, a notable Trump ally, echoed this sentiment on X, suggesting that Biden's late-term policy shift might backfire, proving Trump's warnings about the risk of World War III right before his campaign. All I got to say is hopefully Putin will stay calm and Zelensky will get his finger off the trigger button and we can work towards some peace. We'll be right back.
Administration, has the Biden administration been helpful for you? Have we seen numbers go up or down? And what about under Trump?
Well, it was interesting. Trump's first term, it was way down, veteran homelessness, because they were really heavily leaned into the veteran community. And then when we had this migrant crisis, a lot of the VA HUD-VASH funds that are supposed to house homeless veterans ended up getting reallocated to migrants. So it went up by 12%. And I think it will go back down under this new administration.
Wow. So that money that was supposed to go to veterans went to the migrants.
Correct.
And that's why some of these veterans are on the street. They didn't tell that first guy why he wasn't allowed to stay in the shelter.
Well, they're not allowed to stay in the shelter because there's not enough shelters is the problem. And if you went to prison, like most of these people have gone to prison for domestic violence and things, drugs, and then they can't get in the shelter. They won't put them in these military shelters, so they continue to not get rehabilitated. They just retain their trauma for their whole life.
Well, I know you're going to be working with Washington. You're a lobbyist as well. You'll be working with Doug Collins and whoever some of these appointments, if these appointments go through, Pete Hegseth possibly. So thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
You're awesome. All right.
Turning our gaze to domestic issues, and a move that has sparked both interest and controversy, the state of Texas has proposed to lend a significant amount of land to the incoming administration of Donald Trump for the purpose of facilitating mass deportation. Now, here's a detailed look into this development. Texas Land Commissioner Don Buckingham has officially offered approximately 1,402 acres of land situated in Starr County, Texas, to Trump's team. This land, which is flat and accessible, was previously acquired by the Texas General Land Office to further border security measures like constructing a border wall. Now, this offer comes at a time when Donald Trump, known for his stringent immigration policies during his previous term, has promised to undertake the largest deportation operation in American history. Texas, being at the forefront of the U.S.-Mexico border issues, has historically supported aggressive immigration enforcement, aligning closely with Trump's views. The state has already been active in deploying resources for border security, including military bases, barriers in the Rio Grande, and state National Guard troops. Now, this land in question lies in the Rio Grande Valley, an area already familiar with border enforcement activities. Its flatness makes it ideal for construction, and its proximity to the border, international airports, and the river could facilitate the logistics of deportation operations from housing facilities to transportation hubs. Now, there has been some reactions and implications. Proponents argue that this move is a practical step towards national security, emphasizing the enforcement of immigration laws. They see it as Texas lending by example in supporting the federal government's efforts to manage what they perceive as a crisis. Statements from figures like Buckingham highlight a commitment to using every available means to gain complete operational security of our border. Now, there's criticism. Critics, however, view this escalation as harsh immigration policies. There are concerns about the humanitarian, legal, and logistical challenges of mass deportation. Legal experts and human rights advocates question the feasibility and morality of such an operation, pointing out potential violations of due process and human rights. I would say, though, if you're here illegally, you don't have due process, honestly. Now, this offer also signifies a strong political alignment between Texas leadership and Trump's policies, potentially influencing other states' approaches to federal immigration policy. It underscores a divide between states on immigration, with others like California moving towards sanctuary policies. Now, this proposal has ignited discussions on the broader implications for immigration policy, border enforcement, and the relation between state and federal powers in the U.S. constitutional republic's framework. It raises questions about how states can influence national policy through land use and resource allocation. Now, there's future prospects. While the Trump administration has yet to formally accept or comment on the offer, it serves as a tangible example of how states might actively support federal initiatives. Should this land be utilized, it would set a precedent for how immigration enforcement might be physically and operationally expanded. This initiative by Texas not only reflects a proactive stance on immigration enforcement, but also symbolizes the ongoing debate within the U.S. about immigration, security, and the role of states in federal policy execution. Whether this land will indeed become a hub for deportation operation remains to be seen, but it certainly marks a bold political statement in the current climate of American politics. We'll be right back.
He's promising me to make it great. Trump's the name, but it's not too late to rise and fight, to take a stand. It's up to you, the future's in your hands. When they try to bring us down, we'll stand up, we won't back down. We'll fight for justice, truth, and right. Together we will shine our light. Legal battles we will face, in courts of law we'll find our place. With checks and balances we defend our Constitution till the end. When they try to bring us down, we'll stand up, we won't back down. We'll fight for justice, truth, and right. Together we will shine our light. Legal battles we will face, in courts of law we'll find our place. With checks and balances we defend our Constitution till the end. When they try to bring us down, we'll stand up, we won't back down. We'll fight for justice, truth, and right. Together we will shine our light. We will shine our light. State by state we'll hold the line. Against the power we'll intertwine. With public voices loud and strong, we'll right the wrong. We'll right the wrong. The press is free, the people's voice. We'll rise up, make the choice. Civic duty, engage the fight. Democracy's big and shining bright. When they try to bring us down, we'll stand up, we won't back down. We'll fight for justice, truth, and right. Together we will shine our light. With global friends we'll hold the flame. Impeachment calls, we'll name the names. Whistleblowers brave and bold, the stories of the truth unfold. Non-violent, retake the streets. With peace and power our hearts beat. United strong, we face the night. In the name of freedom we fight. When they try to bring us down, we'll stand up, we won't back down. We'll fight for justice, truth, and right. Together we will shine our light. America, land of the free. It's up to us, our destiny. With every step we make it clear, we'll protect what we hold dear.
Welcome back. We have reached the video roundup portion of our podcast where I have been adding a few videos about some subjects that have been going on and relaying the information to you in a video form beyond just this podcast. So let's start. In the realm of domestic politics, we've seen an alarming trend. A whistleblower has revealed to House Oversight Committee within FEMA there are officials who view Trump supporters as, quote, domestic terrorists. This revelation came under scrutiny when Representative Jim Jordan confronted the FEMA head about allegations that Trump supporters were being denied hurricane assistance. Such a stance, if true, raises serious questions about political discrimination and federal disaster relief. So this whistleblower told the House Oversight Committee that at least some FEMA officials consider Trump supporters to be domestic terrorists. Now watch as Representative Jim Jordan grills the FEMA head over Trump supporters being denied hurricane assistance. Watch this clip.
Administrator Criswell, is Miss Washington lying to us?
Miss Washington has...
She said it's common practice. You said it's reprehensible and isolated. Both statements can't be true. So someone's not giving us the facts. And I'm kind of trying to figure out who's not telling the truth.
The actions that Miss Washington took were unacceptable.
Well, you had another employee. Now, they remain anonymous, but I think one of my colleagues pointed this out earlier. A FEMA official who spoke on condition of anonymity said Miss Washington likely received, quote, very clear guidance from her supervisors. Is that person lying too?
I have not received any evidence outside of the screenshot that Miss Washington directed.
So those
her
two
team.
people are wrong. They're not telling the truth to us.
We are currently investigating this
But that's not
issue
what you
and
said.
bringing
You
in
said
the
this is
IG.
isolated, reprehensible, hasn't happened. This is the only time. And they're saying, nope, it's commonplace.
I am saying that FEMA's mission is to help all people.
Well, let's look at
before,
maybe
during,
the
and
best
after
evidence we have
disaster.
is the actual screenshot. Can you put the screenshot up on the screen? Let's look at what the text message said. The text message said, implement best practices. Like, this is the best practices. We're going to implement them. And they talk about making sure you're going in pairs or with more than one person, avoid the Trump homes, drink your water, take your towel, coconut waters. So stay hydrated, walk with someone else, and don't go to the Trump homes. It seems pretty common and matter of fact in the actual evidence we do have, the text message itself. But you're still saying Miss Washington and this other person aren't telling the truth.
When I received this text message, it was not in accordance with the way we conduct business at FEMA, and I directed
Even though it said
termination.
best practices, even though it said stay hydrated, which everyone would agree with, even though it said go in pairs, which everyone would agree with, even though it said bring a towel, make sure you're covered. I mean, it said coconut water is the best way to stay. Even though it said all these practical things, the part about avoiding the Trump homes, that's not a best practice. That's not commonplace. Is that what you're saying?
That is nowhere in our policy, and I can't speak to
I'm not saying it's in your
motivations
policy.
behind what Miss Washington did.
But it was, okay, now and her supervisor, this Mr. Hershey, have you talked to him and to find out if he knew this was happening?
I understand that he was in her chain of command, and this is under investigation.
Moreover, the political discourse is taking a dark turn with comments from Washington Post columnist Jennifer Rubin, who stated on a podcast, quote, Republicans want to kill your kids. Such extreme rhetoric does little to foster unity or constructive dialogue in our constitutional republic. So journalist Jennifer Rubin says Republicans want to kill your kids. Watch this. People like this should be in a padded room, not delivering news to Americans. Watch this clip.
How about this? Republicans want to kill your kids. It's actually true. If you're going to oppose vaccinations, if you're going to stop breakthrough medical research, if you're going to allow minors and all sorts of people to get semi-automatic weapons, which they use to shoot up schools, well, then you are responsible for kids' health and death, unfortunately. It has to be that simple and that direct, and it has to be over and over and over again. Now, there are some good things going on, and we shouldn't lose track of them. First, hardly anything happened in the House. It's going to be within 1 or 2 votes of what it was before the election. What does that mean? It means there was no great sweep, no great embrace of MAGA politics. It means that individual people can figure out whether their representative is doing a decent job or not.
Lastly, there's a cultural shift afoot. CNN's apparent dismay over Republicans claiming cultural influence through pop culture references shows the changing tides in media and public perception. This isn't just about political parties, it's about the narrative control in our society. I'm going to laugh out loud as CNN sounds really salty about seeing Republicans take pop culture back from Democrats. Watch this.
Look at this shot right now coming in live. We got Musk there. We got, I don't recognize everybody. There's President Trump, Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee, who is also thought to possibly have a position coming in the administration. Senator Ted Cruz on the left with the shades. Is that Ronnie Jackson on the right with the hat? I can't really tell. What do you make of this? They fashion themselves on social media as this legion of superheroes, this incoming administration. Tulsi Gabbard, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., et cetera, et cetera. I guess we're adding pictures and names. I know you is looking at me like you mean the Legion of Doom.
It's the Marvel Universe versus second-rate DC, but that's...
I mean, if I understood what that meant, I would probably have a better opinion about it.
But
if we're talking about
Musk, talk to me about Musk. What do you think about the role he's playing in this administration?
Listen, this is one of the most successful people that the world has ever known, and the ability to build businesses and think outside the box and be an entrepreneur. That's a voice that the president really values. But when you look at this totality, this kind of theme that they all think they're superheroes now, there's a little bit more swagger with the Republican Party now because they did win the White House, the House, and the Senate. You see it in sports now where people are scoring touchdowns and goals and winning matches and doing the Trump dance. There are Republicans who are feeling pretty cool about themselves for the first time in a long time, but they should stop. The guys should all stop doing the dance unless they're athletes.
The dance is a little weird, but unless...
It doesn't quite work unless you're Donald Trump because it's his.
If Elon Musk wants to help fix the federal government, he should get a government appointment, go through security clearances, go through conflicts of interest disclosures, and the like. It's really hard. The idea that he's going to go butt into every agency, he'll have Trump, obviously Trump's imprimatur, no one's going to refuse to tell Musk something or show him documents. Then he goes right back to his private business and uses the information however he pleases. It's really unbelievable.
Not to mention the fact that he has so many government contracts.
Well, where I was mentioned is that when the U.S. government decided not to continue its own space shuttle development and advancement, it did outsource to places like SpaceX. And so he is heavily subsidized and now is going to be overseeing the same agencies that have been giving him money and making this profitable. Now, it's one of the coolest things in government is to be able to go and see a space launch, right? It is the idea, the moonshot. You really feel like you're doing something bigger than yourself. But Elon Musk is not accountable to anybody in the American public, wasn't elected, like you said, not confirmed. And his whole goal is to really just go in, as he says, it's a big hammer and break things. And some of these things that he wants to break are actually really healthy and productive for keeping basic standard of living in the United States. It's that whole disruptive idea of technology, that disruption for its own sake is the ideal, as opposed to what's the impact on people.
I think we can all agree that this government could use some disrupting, but it's also good for people to go through background checks and be vetted by the Senate through its constitutional advice and consent.
Folks, we'll be right back with our hashtag #GoRightRecap. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to follow, share, and let everybody else know about this podcast. Again, I have now redoing the gaysfortrump.org website and soon to be adding the GoRightNewsNC.com for North Carolina news. Hopefully in the future, maybe we'll spread out to more states. But for now, I'm in North Carolina. So if I can get more correspondents and people who want to take over for other states, we'll go from there. All right, we'll be right back with our hashtag #GoRightRecap.
He's promising to make it great. Trump's the name, but it's not too late to rise and fight, to take a stand. It's up to you, the future's in your hands. When they try to bring us down, we'll stand up, we won't back down. We'll fight for justice, truth, and right. Together we will shine our light. Legal battles we will face. In courts of law we'll find our place. With checks and balances we defend our Constitution till the end. When they try to bring us down, we'll stand up, we won't back down. We'll fight for press is free, the people's voice will rise up, make the choice. Civic duty, engage the fight, democracy's beacon shining bright. When they try to bring us down, we'll stand up, we won't back down. We won't back down. We'll fight for justice, truth, and right. Together we will shine our light. With global friends, we'll hold the flame. Impeachment calls, we'll name the names. Whistleblowers brave and bold, the stories of the truth unfold. Non-violent, we take the streets. With peace and power, our hearts beat. United, strong, we face the night. In the name of freedom, we fight. When they try to bring us down, we'll stand up, we won't back down. We'll fight for justice, truth, and right. Together we will shine our light. America, land of the free, it's up to us, our destiny. With every step we make it clear, we'll protect what we hold dear.
Welcome back. This is our hashtag Go Right recap. Again, folks, please share this podcast, follow this podcast, check it out in multiple locations, let other people know about it. So today, from international policy decisions that risk escalating conflicts to domestic issues of political bias and cultural shifts, we're witnessing pivotal moments in our constitutional republic. Donald Trump's rising approval, the strategic moves by Ukraine, and Texas's bold offer for enforcement, and the political witch hunts within federal agencies all paint a picture of a nation at a crossroads. For those who cherish liberty and who believe in the principles of our constitutional republic and who want to see America head in a direction that aligns with those values, join us. Visit GoRightNews.com for more insights. Watch our discussions on Rumble. Tune into hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin across various platforms like Spreaker, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube, TikTok, X, and follow us on all the social medias. If you feel moved to support our mission, consider donating through Cash App at $ Peter Boykin, the number 1. Links are on GoRightNews.com and PeterBoykin.com. Together, let's steer this ship right back to the principles that make America great. God bless everybody. Peace.
It's time to go right. Let the truth ignite. We're bringing no right news into the light. With Peter Boykin at the helm, we're taking a stand. Constitutionalist for America, we protect this land. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. Time to go right. Let the truth ignite. We're bringing the right news into the light. With Peter Boykin at the helm, we're taking a stand. Constitutionalist for America, we protect this land. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right. It's the podcast for you. Place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right. It's the podcast for you. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. Welcome to the place.
She's got a flag that waves for me, reminds me of liberty, where freedom rings as bright as the morning sky. Now and then when I see her plane, she takes me away from these heavy chains. And if I stare too long, I'd rise and fight again. Whoa, sweet land of mine. She's got stars that light the night as if they got our way. I pledge my hand to stand and fight come what may. Her hills remind me of a steadfast place where the brave have bled and laid their lives to keep her safe through the storm ahead. Whoa, sweet land of mine. Ooh, I'll hold the line. Whoa. Shine. Where do we go? Where do we fight? Where do we stand to make it right? Where do we go? Ooh, where do we fight? Where do we stand to guard the light? Oh, where do we go? Woo! Protect her now. Sweet land of mine, oh, your stars will shine. Whoa, sweet land of mine, oh yeah, ooh, forever shine.